Bored? Want to stay culturally relevant? Like to hide your greasy hair? Then make an Among Us hat with me. You'll need a bucket hat, I got mine from Amazon, embroidery string, a needle, and an embroidery hoop. I put the specific materials I use in the description box below so all of my 56 subscribers can follow along. You can draw the design freehand, but I traced mine by placing my phone with the picture underneath the hat. To stabilize the area of the hat I'd be embroidering on, I used an embroidery hoop. Next, get a needle and cut your string, a decent length. No specifics here. Make 2 knots on one end of the string. The worst part, threading the string. Attempt to thread the string on camera for 5 minutes. Skip forward to actually threading and have mango chunks for moral support. Start embroidering. I don't have an actual method and just poke the string through the hat. I like to make some diagonals if the area is bigger, as shown later, and then satin stitch, which just means I'll be stitching right next to the previous stitch. There's a lot of YouTube videos that are better tutorials for basic stitching, so if you're confused, I recommend watching those. For this hat, I started with the smallest areas and worked out. Currently, I'm stitching the small area on the goggles. Occasionally, the end you threaded might come loose. Quickly knot it or else you'll have to suffer through threading it again. As you can see, embroidering is a long process. You can use this time to reflect on your day, think about what you'll eat for dinner tomorrow, or just cry out in pain when you inevitably poke yourself with a needle multiple times. The possibilities are endless. When you're decently satisfied with how this section looks, turn the hat over and knot the string to secure all your hard work. Admire your hat and call it a day because you're tired. Day 2. Sit outside and embroider in the sunlight on your school's grassy area or a park to feel more aesthetic. When people walk past, you can pretend you're artsy and creative. Flick away the occasional fly, maybe violently. In terms of the process, we're going to be repeating what we did yesterday. Cut, knot, thread, poke, stitch. Work on the light blue section first. Sometimes the string might get stuck in the back because of the knot. Just power through. Optional step. Cringe at your hangnails and uneven cuticles that your phone camera picked up on. Curse technology for being so advanced, but then appreciate said technology because you can't fathom a life with blurry Instagram photos. Next section, the dark blue / shadow of the goggles. Turn on some fall vibey music to get in the autumn mood, even though it's still 80 degrees where you live and you're tired of wearing shorts in October or excessively sweating every time you wear pants. Next section, bright red. This section was a bit harder because of the size, but I was committed to finishing. Doing the diagonals before stitching definitely helped with filling the space more evenly and in the lines. Optional steps you can take. Admire the sunlight more. Listen to some Omar Apollo. Other common actions you can take during embroidering. Struggle when the string gets badly stuck. Face feelings of wanting to give up. Just pull the string through and be grateful when the string doesn't snap. Next step, dark red / shadow on red. By this point, one of my fingers was bleeding slightly from poking myself so much. My hands hurt from gripping the needle, and my back was sore from being hunched over for 2 hours. But convinced that the people sitting 6 feet away from me would be disappointed if I wasn't done with the bucket hat, I powered through. Now my second favorite step, outlining in black. I did a stem stitch for this. As I'm unable to correctly explain this in words, you can look up a tutorial for that stitch too. I doubled up the string in some places so that it looked more even, and I think the outlining makes everything look more neat. By this point of the process, the sun was in my eyes and my fingers were so calloused I couldn't really feel anything. I motivated myself by thinking of all I could do after I got this bucket hat done, while simultaneously not trying to think about all the homework I could have done instead of embroidering a bucket hat. Lastly, my favorite step. Secure the string by tying 2 final knots. Sit up straight, shake out your hands, and admire your final product. If you see any mistakes, no you don't. And that's how you make an Among Us bucket hat.